Welcome back to Pendle View, and it's the meeting final now. We're just getting under starters orders. The excitement of World Final is all done and dusted, but we'll see what happens in the meeting final with Pete Stanford 88 running off pole to taking his maiden win in Heat 3. We'll see if he can do it again over the 25 laps distance. I think that's going to be quite a big ask, but the greens go out and off we go. It's 88. Pete Stanford takes the lead early on. The yellow tops are getting in with the bumper quite hard. One or two getting stuck in slightly there, and they've actually been quite respectful there. There's not too many really hard hits, but a little bit of argy-bargy further back, and I think Les Cotton's tagged the fence just going under the starter while this is going on. Ben Ormwood has moved through to second place, but Pete Stanford again's leading, so it's 88 Pete Stanford, and then Ben Ormwood's running second with 29. Dan Rogers going well again in third place. Bumpers going in amongst the yellows and blues, and David Rodder 391's made some massive progress from the back of the superstars, and he's right up there early on. Oh, big hit going in there from Stuart Price, and Tom Tilley get the full force of that one. And, rode the fence a little bit, but hopefully he'll have bounced down and he won't lost too much time while that's going on. It's Mark McCabe 37 who's now the leading red top, as he's managed to make a little bit of a gap over the others. Up front, Dan Rogers looks to be just closing in a little bit here on Ben Ormwood. He's having quite a good race, this Dan here. Always made a little bit of a mistake there, commentator's curse from me, but he's not lost too much time. He's definitely closing in a little bit, but while this is going on, Pete Stanford's still sitting pretty at the front, but there's 19 laps to go, so there's a lot of laps and a lot of pressure. Whether he can hold on to it, we'll have to wait and see. David Rodder being brave there, going on the outside of Craig Tosh, and as he does that, he anti-worse up the inside, but Stuart Price manages to shift them all with Andy Burrows for company as well, and quite a tangle as the bumpers all fly in there, and Stuart Price cops for a big one, and out of the race he bounces down into a few other cars as well, which not a nice ending for Stuart. While all that's going on, everybody else has closed right up and they're trading paint yet again. 17 to go. David Rodder's really firing them in now. Another good hard hit there, and it's Andy Burrows this time on the receiving end of it. I think David's decided if he's lost his gold roof, he's going to go out in style and certainly getting the bumper in on quite a few at the same time. 16 laps to go, still up front. It's 88 Pete Stanford. In fact, it's 15 to go now. I think Benny is making a little bit of ground on him, and Dan's sort of holding station behind him. Further back's Mark McCabe's first of the red tops. In fact, he's well clear now, is Mark, and with the pace he's got, he's probably going to be the one that may challenge towards the end of the race. David Rodder's still in a heck of a battle. He's in 6th place at the moment, with a couple of the Andersons in tow, and the new world champion 147 Mark Foster, he's in 9th place and slowly closing in on 492 Ashley Anderson. Gives him a little bit of heave-ho. So we just look a little bit further down the pack, and everywhere you look there's certainly some action going on. I think everybody will say at the end of this meeting that they've certainly been in a heck of a race. There's been some very, very hard hits going in, and most of them pretty respectful, to be fair. There's been a change of the lead up front as Ben Homewood's taking it over now. Ben Homewood 155, he won the first heat, and he's streaking away now with 11 to go. Pete Stanford still running second with Dan Rogers third, and Dan's definitely closing in on Peter now, so I think another lap and Dan will be right on to Pete, so the bumper should be going in again hard quite soon. Again, Mark McCabe 37 is still making time, and David Rodder's managed to lose the chasing pack as well, so he's in a little bit of open traffic, so he'll probably start to make a bit of ground as well. And 147 defending, the new world champion, I'll get that right soon, Mark Foster, he's starting to make a little bit of time, and he's through to 6th place again. He's got a little bit of a gap, so once the gap opens up here, the lap times start to tumble. Bumper goes in again, and that's on Craig Tosh, and that was Owen Anderson moving in wide, and that's for 7th and 8th. Craig retaliates, and suddenly Craig finds himself in an Anderson sandwich as the Anderson brothers one either side of him. We'll see how long that lasts for. A little bit of movement again towards the front of the pack, and Dan Rogers 29's moved through to a strong 2nd place, and Ben Homewood now has got about an 8.8 second gap at the front, but as we saw in the World Final, that can soon be eroded as soon as they get into traffic, and things can change very, very quickly. As Daniel Anderson rattled the fence there. There's only 6 to go now. It's 155 Ben Homewood from 29, Dan Rogers. Pete Stanford still running a really strong third, starting to come under a little bit of pressure, but not too much. As we just look a little bit further down, the bumper's going in. Mark McCabe's lost some time in traffic, and he's dropped quite a few places there as Mark Foster stuck the bumper in. 4 to go. It's 155 Ben Homewood. Dan Rogers is in touch though. It's the gaps around the second. It just needs one little bit of traffic and it could all change. Pete Stanford's still running third. Great drive from Pete. Dave Rodder is in fourth place. Mark Foster fifth. And Owen Anderson's now up to sixth with 3 to go. So Ben goes down the back straight into turns 3 out of turn 4, and he's just coming up to Patrick Nestor. That'll be the next car he needs to pass. But he's got probably about enough of a gap here, but it only needs one little tangle. David Rodder's making time. He's actually closing in now on Peter Stanford. This is for third, and Pete plays that nice and safe, moves over rather than getting obliterated. He's decided that getting a good safe place is going to be the way to go. But as they go down to the back straight for the final time, it's 155, Ben Homewood. It's a win for Benny Boy. Well done, Benny. Dan Rogers comes home second. David Rodder takes third place and last place on the podium. Fan drive there from Pete Stanford. He's managed to get fourth place. I think that's his best ever final result. He's had some meeting. He'll be absolutely delighted with this. I think that's pretty much everybody over the line now, so I think we'll be okay to close it. Okay, we'll just have a quick look at the results. In first place is 155, and that's Ben Homewood. Heat and final for Benny Boy tonight. 29, Dan Rogers in second. Great drive from Dan. In third place is 391, David Rodder. In fourth is 88, Peter Stanford. In fifth is 294, Owen Anderson. In sixth place, 147, that's Mark Foster. Seventh, 123, Craig Tosh. In eighth, 128, Craig Bamwell. In ninth, number 80, Ant Dewhurst. In 10th place is 37, Mark McCabe. 11th, 192, Kenny Pruden, and in 12th place is 168, that's Stuart Price. 13th is 44, and that's Daniel Anderson. 14th is 242, that's Joe Nichols. 15th, 471, and that's Patrick Nestor. In 16th place is 492, and that's Ashley Anderson. In 17th is 14, and that's Melly P. 18th is 42, Andy Burrows. In 19th is 60, Les Cotton. 20th, 190, and that's Phil Brown. In 21st is 293, and that's Tom Tilley. And in 22nd place is 387, and that's Stuart Menzies. We'll be back shortly with the Grand National.